Behind every great man
is a great, confident, exceptional woman.
Hi, and welcome to Behind Every Great Man. I am Jessica, your host. Behind every great man is a great woman. And today we're honoring the one who feels everything. There's a certain kind of woman who experiences life in full color. She doesn't just live it. She feels it. All of it. Maybe you've been told you're too sensitive, that you take things too personally, that you need thicker skin, that you should just let it go or get over it. You're told you're easily offended or easily hurt, that you feel things more than necessary. Maybe you've learned to apologize for your tears, to explain your emotions, to manage your reactions so you don't make anyone uncomfortable. Or maybe you've started doing what so many sensitive women do. You keep it together on the outside while feeling everything on the inside. You tell yourself to calm down, to stop overthinking, to stop feeling so much. And maybe at times you've even wished you weren't so sensitive. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. I've always been sensitive from the very beginning. My sister would always say, "Jess is crying again." I would try so hard to fight it, really try, but my tear ducts had a mind of their own. They'd open up at the drop of a hat at the worst times and just start flowing. My nephew used to tease me because I'd cry watching Animal Planet. If a gazelle would get taken down by a lion, I'd be whispering quietly to myself, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And kid movies, didn't matter what it was. The Lion King, Inside Out, what's another one? Finding Nemo. There isn't one I haven't cried at. And it's embarrassing sometimes when I'm watching a movie with my family who's just mildly entertained. Keith will look over and sure enough, I'm a mess and it's over a cartoon fish. Being sensitive was always something that I tried to manage. Something I tried to control, or I tried to hide even, especially in conflict. If I was arguing with someone, especially in relationships, I'd cry even when the moment didn't call for it. I'd pump myself up beforehand like, "Okay, Jess, stay calm, stay logical, just think about the facts." Even when I wanted to stay composed. Nope. And what I hated most was that when I cried, the focus would shift to me. Even when the other person was hurting, the moment would stop feeling fair and the focus would become about me and my tears, and I didn't want that. Sometimes it'd make me cry even harder. And I remember thinking, why can't I just hold it together like everyone else? Why do I feel so much, so intensely? I felt like I was weak. I felt like this part of me was such a weakness. What I didn't know then, and what I didn't know growing up, is that this isn't a weakness. It's simply a part of how some of us are made. Research on highly sensitive people suggests that about 15 to 20% of the population processes information more deeply than others. So these women don't just feel more emotion. They take in more information. They notice tone shifts, energy changes, subtle cues, what's being said and what's not being said. You hear the unspoken. You feel what's happening beneath the surface of things, the undercurrent of the room. You feel the hurt and the ache in someone's heart beyond the anger on their surface. You see the pain in someone's eyes even when their words are harsh. The woman who feels everything isn't dramatic. She's acutely perceptive. We live in a culture that celebrates hardness, thick skin, emotional restraint, Especially for women, the message comes early. Don't be too emotional. Don't be too much. Don't make people uncomfortable. So the woman who feels everything learns to apologize, to harden, to hide. And over time, many women do something quietly devastating. They disconnect from themselves, when this sensitivity is actually one of the most beautiful gifts that they possess. This is the heart of what I want to say today. The woman who feels everything has such depth of emotion, of awareness, of connection. She doesn't skim over the surface of life. She moves right through it. She'll dig into the richness, the layers, the complexity of people, of emotions, of being human. She'll feel joy in her body. She feels grief, honestly. She doesn't get uncomfortable or awkward when someone is hurt or in pain. She walks right through it with them, not fearing big emotions. She'll feel life and humanity's beauty so deeply it hurts. And because she feels deeply, she loves deeply. Research shows that highly sensitive people demonstrate greater activity in brain regions associated with empathy, awareness, and emotional meaning. So the woman who feels everything often carries extraordinary empathy, emotional intelligence, relational wisdom, intuitive insight, the ability to sit with complexity. This is strength. And I wish I had known that sooner. There's an alternative to being a woman who feels deeply, and we see it all the time. Some people only feel life on the surface. Some can't even shed a tear. Some don't have the capacity to sense how others are feeling at all. They're not necessarily unkind, but they lack empathy and awareness and emotional depth. And I'll tell you this honestly, I'll take my sensitive heart over that any day of the week. I would rather feel deeply than live unfazed or untouched by others and how they're feeling. The woman who feels everything is often a quiet leader. She doesn't lead through dominance or being loud. It's through her presence. She can sense what a room needs. Before anyone is aware of what's going on and can name it or label it, she's already on it. She creates emotional safety through how deeply she notices others in her family, in friendships, in motherhood, in her community. She often becomes the emotional center of the relationship she's a part of, and yet she's often the one questioning herself the most. I get it. I know. If you work or you go into an office, you've probably learned to suppress your emotions. You don't want to be seen there as too much. And no one is saying to walk around the office crying, but your depth, please know this, is an asset. Every industry involves relationships, and you see things others don't. One of the most healing things for me has been getting comfortable with my sensitivity in my marriage. At first, I still tried to manage it and hold back. I wanted to stay composed. I wanted to stay reasonable. But over time, I stopped fighting what was rising in me and I just let it go where it wanted to go. I was being honest about what was under the anger or the frustration in me, and what was really going on was hurt or sadness. And when I allowed that to be honest and flow through me, he met me there with patience and tenderness. There is so much beauty in a woman who feels everything. She's often creative. She's experiencing life in its full color, and there's such a wildness to it, something deeply beautiful and magnetic and alive. When you suppress this sensitivity, life dulls, but when you honor it, color returns, joy deepens, desire awakens. I know there are times when you wish you could control the tears, when words don't hit you so deeply. But this involves a hardening, sister. And hardening shuts you down and it suppresses feelings. It is in the softening that emotions are allowed to move through you, to rise and to pass and to teach. This is freedom. Loving this part of yourselves means saying, my emotions are meaningful. I can feel deeply and still be logical. I can let my emotions rise and still be grounded. What you need isn't more toughness. It's more compassion, safety, permission, and self-trust. Let's all take a moment for our weekly pause. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, just take a couple moments for you. This is where we integrate what we talk about. If you can, close your eyes, and let's all take a deep breath in together. Exhale it out. Another deep, soothing breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. One more deep, cleansing breath in. And let it out slowly, as if blowing out a candle. Ask yourself these questions. Where did I learn that feeling deeply was a problem? How old were you? What gifts has being the woman who feels everything given me? What would it feel like to love this part of myself instead of managing it or hiding it? Now place your hand on your heart. This heart is what makes the world more beautiful. This heart is the reason your family feels so loved. Your depth, your awareness of others, of what's not being said. This is your superpower, sister. It is God's gift. God didn't make a mistake in your sensitivity. This heart wants to feel it all, even in pain, in love, even in heartache. Can you find the gratitude for your capacity to feel life so fully? You are one of the few who gets to experience it all. Your feeling, your wisdom, your deep knowing, you feel it all. Give yourself permission to feel it all again, to soften again in your own time. God didn't give you this heart by accident. He entrusted it to you because He knew you could carry it. Let's all take one last deep breath in together. Let it out and open your eyes. Sister, let's honor you, the woman who feels everything. Stay open, lead, love. You are deeply alive. And when you no longer fear your own heart, you become exactly who you were created to be. Thanks for taking the time to join me in listening to this podcast episode. You can find more episodes of Behind Every Great Man on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if this spoke to you, please subscribe, and why not share it with your girlfriends? Thanks again, and please join me on the next episode.